So how does Mappa's anime compare to Hajime Isayama's manga?
Shut up and sit down.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dude Reviews, and heavy spoilers for Attack on Titan, the final season part 2, episode 80, to you 2000 years ago, you have been warned. First up, we've got this panning shot of Eren looking at Zeke. Zeke looks way more surprised in the manga, plus you don't see those beastly abs. Interesting choice of perspective that Isayama did in the manga makes Eren look way more majestic in the manga versus the anime, plus Zeke's abs are a lot more visible in the anime. Eren's face is a little bit different from anime to manga. Chin and jawline are a lot longer and thicker in the manga. Zeke looks a lot more startled in the manga. A wider shot was used in the manga of Eren looking at Zeke. Mappa went for a side angle view of Eren's face instead of that front angle shot. Yeah, the anime is much better with Zeke's bulging eyes looking at Eren. This shot of Eren reminiscing on the memory of that scenery is a little bit different from anime to manga. Now he has his head looking down at the sand, but he eventually lifts it up and he looks a little bit more serious in the anime. Zeke's frustration at Eren is a lot more prominent in the anime. Eren's arms are way more stretched out and the chains are positioned a lot further away in the manga compared to the anime. You see more of that past tree in the anime. Zeke doesn't appear in the anime of Eren turning back to look at Ymira, plus I feel like Eren's face is better drawn in the anime. Although the detail and shadow of the manga is a little bit better than this shot of Zeke in the anime. Yeah, both anime and manga win for me, but I think the anime has a little bit more emotion and the expressions are better. I remember loving this shot of Eren trying to rip his arm off from the chains, but the anime, they redrew this scene. He seems to be pulling both arms instead of that one arm. Slight angle change of Eren running towards Ymira. I like both manga and anime, but I think the anime is a little bit more dramatic of Zeke. Mappa went for a high angle panning shot of Eren running towards Ymir. Studio Mappa flipped this shot around from manga to anime. Now Eren's on the right instead of the left. Plus, Ymira isn't walking in perspective compared to the manga. Mappa censored out that one poor soul getting stabbed in the back. More people are seen in the anime versus the manga of them looking at this poor soul. I love the added petals Mappa added in this scene. Plus, the couple aren't kissing in this frame in the manga versus the anime. The top of the vase is a lot wider in the manga. Mappa flipped this scene around with the couple kissing. There seem to be a lot more people in the crowd in the manga. King Fritz has a much bigger nose in the manga. Plus, he looks a lot more old and frail in the manga. The anime beautifully captured the expressions of these poor people in the crowd. You get more fingers pointing at Ymira in the anime. You still get the 13 fingers pointing at Ymira plus more muscular arms. The king's throne is a lot more elegant in the anime. Plus you don't actually see the people's faces in the anime. I much prefer the manga shot of all the people pointing at Ymira in the same scene instead of Mappa cutting the people and Ymira in two separate scenes. Some of the horrified expressions of the people in the crowd are better illustrated in the manga. Mappa flipped this scene around of Ymira bowing to the king, plus the perspective in the manga is a lot more dynamic. King Fritz has a little bit more emotion in the anime versus the manga. You get more extended scenes of King Fritz's guards trying to attack Ymira in the forest. The dog looks a lot more like a demon in the manga. You see more of the trees in the background in the anime. Ymira looks a lot more sad in the manga. Plus Mappa covered her hair so we don't see too much blood, but we clearly see Ymir crying in the anime versus the manga. Mappa added a lot more detail to this tree panning down. You get a few extra scenes before Ymir falls down into the lake. I actually preferred the way the bubbles were designed in the manga. You get a few extra scenes of this mysterious organism attaching itself to Ymir, plus the angle of Ymir falling down is a bit different from manga to Mappa. You get one of the king's guards pointing at the tree in the anime. The anime doesn't show the king's guard looking at the smoke. A lot of smoke covered that beautiful Mappa of Ymira's brand new titan, but the muscles on her titan look a lot more thicker than the manga. You get a slight high angle shot of Ymira bowing down to the king in the anime. Carl Fritz's teeth are a lot more nasty looking in the manga. Ymira's titan skull looks a lot more horrifying in the Mappa version. You see more people in the crowd in the anime and on the roof of the buildings. Ymira's pregnant belly is a lot more visible in the anime. You have one of the kids walking towards Ymira in the anime. Plus Ymira is a lot thinner in the manga. Construction work seems a little bit different from manga to anime. Plus you see more of the faces of the soldiers looking forward compared to the anime, but you do see more of the palace behind Ymira. King Fritz is a lot more bigger in the anime versus the frail, skinny version of the manga. It looks like he trimmed his beard in the anime versus the manga. You don't see any of the armor on their shoulders in the anime versus the manga. King Fritz isn't seen in the anime. Plus you also see the missing third daughter in the anime. A lot more blood was splattered on screen in the anime. A reverse angle change of Ymira falling down to the ground. You only get a close-up shot of Carl Fritz looking at Ymir. We actually see more stars in the sky in the past realm. You just get a close-up shot of Carl's eyes instead of that wide shot of his face and his crown. Mappa censored Ymira's carcass. The heights of the three girls are a little bit different from manga to anime, and more people in the background. Mappa made the person holding the baby look really demonic. I love the art style of Mappa's 9 Titan shifters, and I love the panning up. Although the shadowed mask in all the Titans, we don't see all of that detail from the manga. That massive foot in the front frame is completely flipped around, plus more colossal Titans are shown. We see more of Eren's face in the anime. Eren looks way more terrifying in the manga, plus his hand is completely out of frame. Eren's jacket appears to be a lot longer in the manga. You see more of his eyes in the Mappa version. Zeke looks a lot more frustrated in the anime. You don't see that wide shot of Zeke running towards Eren in the anime. No deranged Zeke Jaeger close-up shot. You get more detail on Eren's eyes in the anime. Plus you don't see Zeke just about to reach towards Eren. You just get a close-up shot of Eren's eyes. Mappa absolutely nailed this shot of Ymira gritting her teeth and crying. The weird spinal creature attached to Eren's head is a lot more freaky looking in the manga, but you do get a close-up shot of Eren's face in the anime. The camera is much zoomed in on Armin and Mikasa about to attack the cart Titan. While the three expressions are more or less the same from manga to Mappa, I will admit Mikasa's eyes are a lot more wider in the anime. You get more blood dripping down Gabby's nose in the anime, plus no tears in her eyes compared to the manga. You see more of Reiner's armored Titan about to reach towards Gabby, plus a lot more smoke and dust in the Mappa version. You get a lot more wind and smoke in the Mappa version, plus the lighting is a lot more dramatic, and you see more of the Titans clearly in the Mappa version. Eren's founding Titan looks a lot more wider in the Mappa version, plus the perspective of the buildings are a bit different from Mappa to manga. The Titans appear to be a lot more skinnier in the manga versus the anime, plus you get a Dutch angle shot in the anime. Armin's expressions are a lot more wild and he looks a lot more freaked out, plus Mikasa and Armin are completely flipped around in scene. Armin's expressions are a little bit different in the anime. He looks a lot more freaked out by the rumbling. Mikasa's nose is a lot thinner in the anime. The Colossal Titan's shoulders are a lot more broad, plus you don't get that Dutch angle perspective from the manga. You don't see the 4 men behind Yelena and Onyankopon. The Titans have a lot more detail in the anime. Mikasa seems to be looking down in the anime version, plus Armin is flipped around on the left hand side versus the right hand side he was in the manga. Once again, the Titans appear to have a lot more detail and lighting on them in the anime. Slight angle difference of Armin talking to Mikasa. The manga version shows the past tree having a few more streaks branching up from one another. Mikasa puts 2 hands on her head versus the 1 hand she puts on her head in the manga. Armin and Mikasa are looking up versus the manga where they're looking down. Reiner, Gabby and Peak are all in the same shot in the manga, but in the anime there are 3 different cuts of them. Plus Reiner's outfit is completely different from manga to Mappa. Connie looks a lot more freaked out in the manga, plus he and Jean are in different scenes in the anime. You get extra characters and a slight different angle shot of the rest of the people in the past realm. Plus the anime has Historia sitting down versus the manga where she stands up. This infamous shot of Eren's founding Titan is much better in the anime versus the manga. Although his nose is a lot thinner in the manga, but I will admit that the manga does have extra detail under his eye sockets, and that's about it. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys thought of this comparison. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Which is your favourite, manga or Mappa? Tell me. Like this video, subscribe for more Attack on Titan reactions, reviews, comparisons, rankings, breakdowns and more. Thank you for watching. Bordered Review signing out.